Hey there, every welcome. Gluten Tog, Onion Room. Yes, you are not lying there, my man Solomon. Oh my word. Is the smell of onion not actually a brutal thing right now? That's kind of the win right now, is that it is not as bad as it was last night. And I definitely have a story for you. By the way, this is why I'm so happy. I have the fireside joy. That's right. Sure Sense is keeping this room smelling so much better with 15% more. We don't have a sponsorship, but really at this point, that would be fantastic. So when are you eating onion in solidarity? I'm not eating any onion in solidarity there, good sir. I never agreed to an onion thing at all, and I'm very okay with that. No, I'm not doing it, because for me that's just that is no. A, I would actually throw up, and B, I've been dealing with enough grossness in our family situation that I don't need to be throwing up. I don't. Hey guys, I don't. And I appreciate you guys too much to make you go through that pain. So that's my sacrifice is not having the onion. Does that sounds a little bit ironic, doesn't it? You know, my sacrifice is not having the onion. But that's what I'm saying. Onion fund. No. Also, Solomon, I do not have an answer yet to you about the PayPal idea thingy-majigger. Our office admin legit had to run and do some stuff, sadly, that just couldn't be able to have that convo right then and there. But I'm hoping to have that answer for you next week. So, hopefully we're gonna get things figured out. And if we don't have it already, figured out, we'll do that. Oh, reward wheel. Well, by golly, we better answer that, because it's a reward wheel. Yeah, it is. Holy schnickerdoodle, that's huge. That's what the orange peel said. That's what I'm saying. All right, here we go. Reward wheel, starting off right off the bat, and I haven't even done much. I just sat here. And so, spin of that. Oh, wheel! And so we're spinning. Have someone else jump in for 5 minutes. It's no... So guys, we got a comment on our YouTube viewer, Sandra. An awesome person that I've been working with for the past bit. She loves snow. Now, you'd think Wilson being a Canadian, right? He would like snow. No, Wilson does not like snow. I'll take snow on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And I'll even take it. I'll even go as far as Boxing Day. Sure, we could, sure, we'll do that and stuff like that. Here's the other thing. And then New Year's Day and New Year's Eve. Yeah, sure. Any other time, we don't talk about snow. Yeah, I just, it's fine and stuff. You're Canadian? What? I know. Shocker. He's Canadian. How is that a thing, right? Especially, I'm saying I'm Canadian, I don't like snow. Like, that's a thing, right? But, Sandra had to point out, while we were at our lunch program today, there was a flurry of snow going on. And she's like, what, Mike, snow? And I'm like, no snow. So, I'll spin again, have someone jumping in for 5 minutes, because really, I need to create what would be a level up talk, thing like that. Ooh, treat yourself, snack. I mean, I do have something that I was prepared for banana. Yeah. Banana! Okay. Well, I'm just gonna stick with the thing. We'll have equivalent of shit. Solomon. Solomon, how dare you use one of my favorite animes against me? I had such high hopes for the stream, especially after, you know, the onion debacle of yesterday. In my office. In my office! Okay, fine. Getting the punishment wheel. Is it gonna roll around in the snow? Is that it? Maybe that should be a thing. Sandra's laughing at me. She's hearing all this and is like, all this you guys, it's unfair. I'm just saying. Unfair. Alright. Here's the punishment wheel. Here we go. 30 minutes Snow Angel. Recite a poem? Recite a... Okay. 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 I will do that. I'm going to choose the poem. Alright? And I happen to love poetry. So this is a punishment, but it may be more of a punishment that you get to hear my dramatic reading of a poem than anything else. So I'm sorry, but also I'm not sorry in some ways too. Ninu, 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 Ninu. All right, so you got to go back to me now. You got back. Hi, to me. Okay, you ready? Oh, hold on. I need to make sure my bird goes out for his walk. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you like... Okay. So frustrated. My bird apparently doesn't like things that I like, but it's a whole other that's a whole other discussion. If you know, you know. If you don't, well, now it's awkward. All right, we're gonna type up because Wilson went through a dark phase in poetry. Yeah, dark phase. If I had my book, I would actually recite some of my own poetry. Maybe that's what I'll have in the office. I'll have my own poetry stuff just in case. And then if anyone wants to read it aloud, maybe that's a punishment wheel for them. That they have to read it and stuff like that. Right? Now I piqued your interest. Now you're like, Wilson does poetry? What is this? Wilson can barely talk. How is he able to formulate actually decent words? Tom, I'm already dealing with one punishment wheel. Wait, what kind of poetry though? What kind of poetry do I write? I like symbolic poetry, like processing stuff around us and like what's the symbolic nature of it all and stuff like that. Oh, wow. Law of equivalent exchange strikes again. Shocker. Shocker. Alright, fine. Okay. Holy snap. Does that help? You know, okay, I need to recite a poem. What's the next one that I need to do here, guys? What's the next thing? The next thing is... Said spin 3 times. Does that mean on the third one I get it? This isn't like a stacked one, is it? Guys, this isn't a stacked one, is it? Don't tell me it's a... This just hurts. Okay. 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 I don't even have a notepad anymore. Where'd my notepad go? I used to have a notepad. Guys, I used to have a notepad. Tell you what. We're gonna write it. That's the schedule. You're punks. Alright, someone's taking notes. Alright, all 3. Okay. Poetry is the first one. Okay, what's this other one? Add object to stream background. Well, that's going to be easy. I've got an object. So, okay, we got add object. All right. I got to do 4. Spin again. Haha. Ninu, ninu, ninu. Mega punishment wheel spin? I don't even know what that is. We have a mega punishment wheel? What is that? Okay. Spin 2 times. Oh my word. Why do I get all the extra spins? Do oh, you don't want me to do ASMR for 1 minute. Okay. Everyone take notes, right? Take notes. Take notes. Add 5 minutes to stream. Well, that's going to be your suffering, and by the amount of time that I'm spending on the spinning, it's already adding time anyways. Play 5 rounds of Would You Rather with chat. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's the last one. Yeah, I think that's the last one. Alright. Okay, so I need to look up poetry. Alright. No, wow. Solomon, you're just too nice. Edgar Allan Poe. What one do I want to do? Sure, we'll do El Dorado. Alright. Alright. You guys ready for this? This is a poem. I remember reading this actually when I was in junior high. And Edgar Allan Poe has actually been one of my favorites to read, which is kind of weird because, you know, when you're in grade 6 and you're reading Edgar Allan Poe and like people are like, Wilson, are you okay? The reason why I liked Edgar Allan Poe is because of The Simpsons. So you can actually blame The Simpsons because their Halloween episode, they had the reading of The Raven, which is still one of my favorite Edgar Allan Poe poems. Super long, beautifully written, wonderful to see as an image when you are watching on The Simpsons. Gives you a very vivid idea of what's going on. But what I liked about it was just like, James Earl Jones reading Edgar Allan Poe. Also, Telltale Heart. If you haven't read that, that's a great short. It's kind of like a short novelization. You should read it. It's all about a guy who absolutely is just wrecked with guilt after killing his neighbor and keeping his heart that was beating. And he had to hide the fact that he killed his neighbor and put it under his floorboard. You need to read it. It's intense. It's a little morbid. I'm not gonna lie. Hashtag Wilson needs therapy. Lots of it. Okay, so here it goes. Here it goes. All right. This is Edgar Allan Poe's El Dorado. I guess I should probably bring it a little closer to it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Let's get really close. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Edgar Allan Poe's El Dorado, read by Nerdy Arc. Gaily bedight, a gallant knight, in sunshine and in shadow, had journeyed long, singing a song, in search of El Dorado. But he grew old, this knight so bold, and o'er his heart a shadow fell as he found no spot of ground that looked like El Dorado. And as his strength failed him at length, he met a pilgrim's shadow. Shadow, said he, where can it be, this land of El Dorado? Over the mountains of the moon, down the valley of the shadow. Ride boldly, ride, the shade replied, if you seek for El Dorado. There you go. That is a poem read to you by Nerdy Arc. And also, it's partially like ASMR because, like, we kind of whispered it was wonderful and stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dramatic readings are always encouraged, you know. Please send your donations over to qiu.ca/donations, and we can keep this going. I'm kidding. You don't have to keep it going, but, like, seriously. No, I love... Solomon legitimately throws down. You hit the link. Hit the link right there. That's what you could do. Wilson, keep on reading ridiculously. And doing it in the most calming... wait, no, that was not calming at all. But I love it because, it, like, El Dorado, it's this knight that's trying to find wealth, but all in his life, he can't find it to the point of his death. And the shade is death. Literally pointing to his doomed hopes of trying to make it ahead. So, I love it. It's kind of beautiful and stuff like that. So, there's your poetry reading. All right, 5 rounds of Would You Rather. Oh, also I need to throw down one reward wheel. G-Dub reward wheel, because I already have my first one. Eat something. Well, I'm gonna be doing that already. Like, what is this? Is this make Wilson gluttonous? Like, what is the deal? Should I have the chocolate that I got from Ruth? Maybe that's what I'll do. Look at this. Ruth gave me a chocolate. A Belgian M. Or is it actually a W? And then, should I be eating this and doing the ASMR, like, treatment with it? That way I'm killing 2 birds with 1 chocolate bar. Killing 2 punishment wheels with 1 chocolate bar, as it were. Okay, that was horrible. We don't ever talk about that again. This is why I don't get paid the big bucks. Boo! Oh, wow. Boo. Okay, you ready? You ready for the satisfying crinkle and stuff like that? All right. Hi, everyone. Hi. Nice to have you on. It's great to have you close by. Okay, this is the special stream where Wilson is going to eat a Builder's protein bar. You can thank Sandra for making sure that I've got the protein bar. She's always making sure. Getting them gains. Alright, we're gonna slowly open this up. Hear the crinkle. Oh yeah, it's so nice. Oh, so tasty. Oh, it's almost open. There we go. Fantastic. Also, please comment your 5 would you rathers as I talk in ASMR style. This one's peppermint. It's gonna be extra delicious. Here's the bite. No crunch factor. However, it tastes amazing. It's like as if I'm eating a peppermint with extra weight behind it. It's so good. Would you rather eat an onion or read a 5,000 fan fiction about Nightwing and Starfire? I see you, Solomon. You're trying to stir stuff, and I see it. But I actually would totally read the fanfic. The fanfic would be a lot better than onions. I have to break it to you. Poor Nuggets. He apparently can only taste onions all day. Like his tongue feels like it's on fire when he was eating food today. So it was really sad. Next question. Guys, we're like 20 minutes into the stream. I haven't even started anything. I need 4 more would you rathers. This is actually really tasty. Oh, that really does hurt the jaw. Sandra was 100% right. This is giving my jaw a complete workout. No wonder why I look so thin in the face is because of these protein bars. Yeah, you guys are hearing it. They're laughing at this. But it's 100% true. It's like a big workout. She's laughing. They're all laughing. This is why the fishbowl never ends. It just, everyone watches and it's just like, what the heck, Wilson? What are you doing? Well, we're here for your entertainment. Welcome to the show. I feel like I'm part of the Greatest Showman now. So, you know, the laughter out there, worth it. Everything. Throw down a like. Throw down a subscribe because you know you want to keep this up. Okay. Would you rather watch Lord of the Rings with St. Peter or with Judas? Oh my word. Okay. Lord of the Rings with St. Peter or Judas. Let's evaluate the situation. I feel like Peter would totally be... He would totally be like, oh, why can't I think of the king? King from the Riders of Rohan, Theoden. He'd totally be like Theoden. Like, anytime there's a fight scene, Peter would be like totally down and be like, let's do this, let's go nuts. Like, oh my goodness. When it comes to the Balrog scene, he would freak out. I feel like Judas would slightly cheer for Grima Wormtongue, which would be really awkward. Because he'd be like, dude, I get it. I understand it. And then seeing how Grima Wormtongue gets, you know, taken out. Kind of awkward. So, that's really tough because both reactions would be fantastic to watch. Like, it would be great to see a nerding out Peter being like, yes! Fight! And go nuts at it and stuff like that. It would be fantastic. But then to see Judas squirm to see what happens to Grima Wormtongue would also be wonderful. I just want Peter. I'd probably be like right there with Peter. We'd probably go nuts and like dress up in all like LOTR outfits and like probably have fights in the living room. Yeah, I want to do that now. How dare you? All right. That is number 2. I need 3 more. Oh my goodness. That bite was so hard. Oh my word. It like almost took out my jaw. My word. Whew. Oh. Sandra's got a poem. Oh no. You have a poem. Oh no. Solomon, you're too excited for this. Calm down. All right. Well, listeners, we have our very own poem submission by Sandra. It is a poem about snow. I'm cringing just at the title. But love all y'all, so get ready. Snow falls soft on a quiet night, turning the world to a gentle white. Each flake dances, light and slow. A silent song only winter knows. It blankets rooftops, fields, and trees, moving softly with the breeze. A peaceful hush, a calming glow, the magic touch of falling snow. This poem was brought to you by Sandra. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all loved it. That was pretty eloquent for start. Snow over back row. Okay, Solomon. Now you're just trying to cause pain here, man. Like, we went from like a very beautiful poem to then this now has to be a comparison. We're throwing down back row in the midst of this. What is this? Come on. Anywho, thank you, Sandra, for the awesome poem. This will now be pointed outward toward the crew outside of the fishbowl so that they can enjoy it, because Wilson doesn't need poetry on snow. I'm just telling you right now, as much as everyone loves on snow, y'all can enjoy it. I'm good. So she's laughing. She heard what I said. I'm not taking it back. Not taking it back. She's laughing at me. That's how it is. The amount of aggression. See, this is where good work connections, friendships, and feuds start. Poetry. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. That's why they say the pen's mightier than the sword. All right, we still have Would You Rathers. I need 3 more, and then we can get right into the chat. I also need to chug water, because holy snap. Would you rather be stuck in an elevator with a very enthusiastic Reddit atheist, or your twin who happens to be a massive Starfire Nightwing shipper? I see how First of all, if I had a twin, I think the world would actually self-implode. Because there is no way the world could handle nerdiness of that magnitude. I hate to break it to you. That is just... This amount of personality in one human being is really, really pushing it on edge. Two Mike Wilsons, that's... Oh. Yeah, I don't know if you'd be ready. I know they wouldn't be ready. They're already laughing. I think we would kill people with just the amount of humor that would be coming out every single time. It just wouldn't make any sense. It'd be hurting. Painful, disruptive even. We would take over the world. Don't do it. I'm just saying, don't do it. So I'm saying no to the twin. In an elevator with a very enthusiastic Reddit atheist, I would love to have a conversation actually with that kind of person. I actually think that's a really cool thing because I'm interested in seeing other people's vantage points. I wouldn't necessarily go for an argument. I just want to hear where their vantage point is. If they want to discuss it, I'm totally down for it. I'm not here to smack your head. I'm here to just be Jesus and follow him. So, all right, we got 2 more to go. Oh, wow, boo. What a sensible... Right? Logic showed up. I have to go for another bite. Oh, my word. Sandra, these things are like bricks. These are hefty. Oh, my word. Oh. Guys, I'm almost breaking my jaw just biting these things. Holy snap. Alright. 2 more to go. With the semi-ASMR vibe. Not actually ASMR at this point. I'm just loud and obnoxious. Tom, you're looking, horseboy. Can I can't ask all. Oh. Would you rather build a house with protein bars or eat a brick as a snack? Oh. Alright, so first of all, protein bars as a house, that'd be pretty solid. Especially if they maintained within their wrappers. If they're doing that, that's a heavy duty house. It'd be the foundation would be solid. Or at least something would be solid. You know what I mean? Just throwing that out there. But that would be different. I'd be worried about the insurance claims. That'd be the other thing, because reinforcements, that's a little difficult. So in that case, I'm probably gonna eat the brick as a snack, but I'm not gonna eat that brick as a snack in one sitting. I'm gonna tell you that, because Wilson does not need to spend more time in the bathroom. Okay? I'm already mid-30s. Yeah. I love the delayed thumbs up. It's fantastic. It's so good. Because then, the comments are great. Again, fish bowls. This is what I live for, apparently. Fish bowls. I might attract gym bros. Right? The gym bros would just be stealing from my house, and I'd have a difficulty, right? I'd then have a major insurance claim. So the snacks would be good, and I'd probably find some gym bros to be able to have, the protein bars with. The protein brick with, as it were. So, it's a good question, Noodles. Good question. Okay, final question. Ba, ba, ba. Man, you're getting like all the voice acting from Wilson today. You're also getting a lot of third-person interaction from Wilson today, aka Ark. Oh man, that is like really hard. Ah! Okay, level. This is actually really difficult to chew. My jaw is actually tired. Oh my word. Evangelical Jim Bro. Horrifying, right? How dare I? Alright, last question. Come on. Make it a good one. We are so ready. Hey dude, nice reps. You know who lifted some pretty heavy weights? Jesus. Yeah. Hold on. I can do better. Okay? Hold on. I gotta like actually unleash my inner gym bro. Okay. Hold on. So to unleash the inner gym bro, you must show off the white pasty arms, because clearly I go to the gym all the time. Clearly I sunbathe all the time. And get in on that. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. I gotta look really serious. Okay. Hey dude, nice reps. You know who lifted some heavy weights? Jesus. You know what he did? He carried your sins to the cross, brother. He lifted it up. Can you believe it? Can you feel the pain of the gains? There you go. There's your rendition. There's your rendition of if Wilson ever became a gym bro. It's not going to happen. I hate to break it to you. I like hanging out with my family too much, and I also like my couch a little too much. It's oh wow, is that arm or a Forest of Endor? Right? You know, this is how it goes. You know, you don't want to see my back. It's way worse. All right, seriously, one last one, and then we got to get into the chat. We've already gone over half an hour. Haven't even gotten to the chat part. This is what happens when things get out of hand. People laughing at me. Ah! Things. Okay. Anyone. I just need one would you rather. You got it. Oh. I leave the last one to you. Well, either one. We're good for it. If they want to send it in. Okay, I gotta put down my arms. This is ridiculous. No gym bro. I ain't no gym bro. Oh, that was cold. It's actually chilly. That was cold. The gym bro was a bad idea. They're laughing at me outside, guys. It's like public school again. I'm getting picked on. No, that actually, this is all my fault. I've been stirring up the pot myself, so that's really the issue. Ba-dum-bum-bum. I'm an orange peel. I'm gonna give it like one more minute. If I don't get anything, then we are moving onward into the unknown. Like that. That's how we hit it. Yeah, that's right. You get more singing with Wilson so that you get tortured to actually do something about it. You get tortured so that we actually get results. Can you believe that? By the way, Into the Unknown by Panic at the Disco, fantastic. People are sleeping on that. People are sleeping on it, and I don't like it. You hear me? You got it? Punk. Also, I gotta make sure that the mic is actually at a decent level. There we go. And Time's up. The last one we will never know. Until next time. All right. Here we go, guys. You ready for the talk? You ready to know how on earth Wilson is going to put it? Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Also, sweater. Get out of here. Psh, who needs a sweater? Who needs a sweater when you can order a totally cool graphic word t-shirt? Yeah, that's right. They are going to be available over December 12th. Yeah, that's right. At our next Nerdy Cafe. That you will not want to miss out if you are around here locally. Hit it up. You can order your t-shirts. It will be cool because you'll get to put on some of our nerdy goodness, like Gaming with Tom, like Nuggets of Wisdom, Nerds in the Word, Level Up, Eyes Up with Pilo, and of course Retro Replay, which by the way, our most popular design has been so far Nerds in the Word. What up? And then a second is Retro Replay, which our very own Sandra has purchased a t-shirt in it's called Safety Pink. So we might have to have a fashion show at some point. Oh yeah, that would be cool. I'm a graphic word nerd. That would actually be a cool thing. That, you know what? We should have done that for a t-shirt. That would have been smart. Why didn't you tell us that, Solomon? That would have been genius. Is there an onion shirt? You know what? I might have to figure out just making an onion t-shirt just for Nuggets, free of charge, because that man worked for it. That's all I'm saying. All right. Who's ready to dive into the topic today? Raise your hand, thumbs up. Throw down a Wilson approve if you can, or thumbs up if you can't. And if you can't, well then we'll have to work on getting you a subscription. Or you just choose to subscribe and love on us that way. Yeah, you just need to do that. Anywho, guys, let's do this. Let's dive in. In our Level Up talk today, we are talking about... Hold on, that's not going to be the fun way. The Helm of Fate. If you are like, what the flip is that? Well, first of all, get educated and start reading some DC Comics. Like, come on, guys. I can't do all the heavy lifting for you. DC Comics has a fantastic character. Like, I mean fantastic. He's one of my faves. He is Doc Fate. That's right. The man, the legend. Notice how this is the classic style Doc Fate. Everyone go, ooh. Everyone go, ah. Read comics? Ew, like a nerd would? Yeah. Imagine leveling up involves nerding out a little bit. Anywho. Doc Fate is a fantastic dude. What makes him super fantastic is the helmet called the Helm of Fate, also known as the Helm of Naboo. He's really cool. He's actually one of my favorite DC Comics characters. I actually need to talk to my brother about doing another Alex Ross painting for me, maybe at some point. Nuggets and onions. Right? Disgusting, Sandra. It's gross. By the way, we do have a clip for you guys that you can totally check out on our YouTube, our TikTok, and Instagram that features said Nuggets eating said onions. It's disgusting, and my heart goes out to you, Nuggets. It's a thing. We're doing that. We're doing good. Okay, so here's the thing that's going on. Doc Fate, fantastic hero. What makes Doc Fate amazing, really, is his helmet. And his helmet is actually embodied with a special being, the Helm of Naboo. Okay? So this is... Oh, man, come on. You guys can't see, like, the big image on this one? This is really sad. There we go. That's a little bit bigger. You can work with it a little bit more. This one was fantastic. This is, yes, Pierce Brosnan was a fantastic cast. Oh my goodness. Solomon, on point. The one thing I appreciated out of Black Adam was Doc Fate. Do I think he was nerfed as all could be? Yes, because Doc Fate is stupid powerful. If you were to really do a comparison between Doc Fate and Doc Strange, Doc Fate would kick Doc Strange's face in this way, there and back, from here to Sunday and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all week, every day, twice a day. It was, just shame the movie. Right? Like, you know, like, they had the most powerful thing, and powerful being, and they nerfed him just because, I'm going to say it, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He needs to be the powerful dude. And that's actually part of his contract, stuff like that. And it's frustrating. But anywho. Doc Fate is fantastic. He's amazing. The hard thing is, the thing that makes him super intense is the factor that there's this being, Naboo, that is affiliated with the helmet. So, he is a spellcaster. He has cool capabilities and whatnot. Magic wielder. If you've ever played Justice League Injustice, like, okay, see, there we go. Pierce Brosnan, like, oh, my man. That's it. I know what I'm watching Friday night. We're rewatching this Friday night just for that. I used to have that one, but anywho, Doc Fate is infused with this awesome power from the Helm of Naboo, who is this god of mystic arts and capability. And what happens is, within it is actually having this being, this all-powerful, amazing being, who is the one who brings order to chaos. He is the god of order. And so when he fights, really, the Helm can't do much because it needs a host to put it on. So the Helm will call an individual to put on the Helm of Fate, and then they will become Dr. Fate. And in the midst of that, though, there's a bit of a problem. Naboo, Gungans, ha! That was a Star Wars reference. I understood that reference. Here's the problem with becoming Dr. Fate, because Dr. Fate is, like, wicked powerful, and you're like, oh, dude, like, why wouldn't you... The reason why you wouldn't want to become him is because you're actually at war, mentally, spiritually, with another being over what your body's gonna do. And so, like, Naboo is the one who, like, guides what you are doing. And is the one who gives you these powers and stuff like that. And so what tends to happen to the people who wear the Helm of Fate, they tend to go insane. Awkward moment. And this is why there's not, like, one person who's been Doc Fate, but there have been, like, at least 5 or 6 different people who have been Doc Fate. And it's not all just dudes. There's some lady gals and stuff like that have actually been Doc Fate as well. Which is, like, the thing is they typically go insane because it's the will of Naboo that they have to contend against. It's really tough and insane. It's just, it's nuts. You know who'd make a great Dr. Fate? Starfire. So I want to point out I'm still having to deal with this atrocity that's just all throughout this week. And it still stays up till next Tuesday. Unfair. Anywho, back to our talk and covering that up. The thing that I appreciated was actually, and yes, at one point, Batman wore the helmet for a period of time. Short period of time. However, he's, like, got wicked hard, will. So don't mess with Batman. Batman's the only one who hasn't gone insane while wearing the Helm of Naboo. Which I find really funny that his helmet and his ears conform to the helmet. Apparently, the Helm of Naboo... We're good. The Helm of Naboo can't even force Batman into submission for his ears. So, you learned a lesson today, kids. Batman will beat Doc Fate / Naboo. John Constantine did actually wear it, and I do believe it was in Future's End story arc. That was another one who, well, let's be honest, John Constantine, he's been partially insane. More like well-ordered insanity, or high-functioning insanity would probably be the better way of putting it. No. So that's where it kind of works out. That was whole part of like the dark justice kind of stuff. To be fair, he's British. I wasn't going to bring it up, but like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So we appreciate that and appreciate the call out for that one. But there's one Fate, Doc Fate, and there's this one. Okay, so there's Doc Fate. And so the person who's featured here is Doc Fate when the Helm had to take on a new host, and the new host was Zatara. And Zatara is a magic wielder who's pretty boss, pretty intense and stuff like that. But here's the situation is that the Helm tries to take over and just say, look, you're just going to do what we're going to do, and you're just going to like it. So, Ninu, kind of stuff like that. Versus here, what we have with Doc Fate and Zatara is he actually brings in that he's willing to submit control, but it's not in a point of like, begone, bots, I smite thee in the name of Onion Jesus. Good choice. In this case, Zatara actually has his faith as a grounding of maintaining throughout the chaos, maintaining his sanity, holding on to faith, and kind of pushing back against the Helm of Naboo, or the Helm of Fate. And it's a beautiful clip. I recommend you check it out. I think we've even shared it in the past of like how there's been like some direct faith messages that come out of DC Comics, and this is definitely one of them. That just chef kiss. It was so well done. But we had Zatara, who was like one of these few ones that maintained his sanity, and with the potential of like he took the burden so that his daughter wouldn't wear the Helm of Fate. And so I want to give this caveat because we're going to bring this in. So I love Doc Fate for the principle of the idea of what's going on, right? The very idea that there's this overarching protection, but then also like this call for power and strength, right? It's a power within itself and relying on a different power. We've talked about this time and time again about the Holy Spirit. We've talked about this again and again, how God is the one who wants to be there along with you, who wants to guide you along the way. But here's the difference between the Helm of Naboo, or aka the Helm of Fate, and God. The Helm of Fate forces it. Okay. Did you? Hey, guys in the back. Hi. We're bringing it in real close. The Helm of Fate forces the control. The Helm of Fate demands that the person that is taking over is just going to deal with it. And that's actually what that whole episode was in the baseline of, you're just going to submit and whatever. But it was Zatara that actually pushed back and said, no, I'm going to submit, but it's my faith in God that actually keeps me going. It's not you. It's my reliance on Him and trusting in Him that I'm able to stand strong. That I'm guided by Him. Guys, that was a really cool episode moment. Like, you need to be checking it out. But the thing that I want to derive from, because this is where the talk originally came from. And we're going to be hopping into the Bible here for a little bit. You're gonna work along with me, okay? We're gonna work together. Can we work together, guys? You good with working together? Because I'm a little kooky, and I get it. People have to put up with my craziness here on a daily. Helm of hate. Well, yeah, it kind of can feel that way. I'm not going to lie. All right. This is in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 18 to 25. Okay. And again, this is a letter from Paul to the church of Corinth. He's giving them guidance and direction for what they are supposed to be doing, and understanding kind of the baseline of how God has shown up. Now, technically, 1 Corinthians is not actually the first letter. It's the first letter that we actually have, but it's actually written as like a secondary letter. So when you're actually reading 1 Corinthians, you're actually reading 2 Corinthians letter. And when you're reading 2 Corinthians, you're actually reading 4 Corinthians letter. So the more you know, get educated. Anywho, 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 18 to 25. We'll just read this through. The more you know, the stakes are indeed high. The message of the cross is foolish to those who are headed for destruction, but we who are being saved know it is very powerful. It is the very power of God. As the scriptures say, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and discard the intelligence of the intelligent. Dang, that's hardcore. So where does this leave the philosophers, the scholars, the world's brilliant debaters? God has made the wisdom of this world look foolish. Oh snap. Since God in his wisdom saw to it that the world would never know him through human wisdom, he has used our foolish preaching to save those who believe. It is foolish to the Jews who ask for signs from heaven, and it is foolish to the Greek who seek human wisdom. So when we preach that Christ was crucified, the Jews are offended and the Gentiles say, it's all nonsense. But to those called by God to salvation, both Jews and Gentiles, Christ is the power of God and the wisdom of God. This foolish plan of God is wiser than the wisest of human plans, and God's weakness is stronger than the greatest of human strength. Okay? So what's going on here is the flip of the brain, right? This like legitimately is throwing what seems like logic on its head. Because the message of the cross is foolish to those who are headed for destruction, but we who are or who are being saved know it is the very power of God. The reason why it's saying that is because, think about it, you're choosing to follow a God who decided to get crucified for people to follow him. An infinite being willing to go down to that level and to die, take on the brokenness of the people that he's created. He's taking that on and dying and essentially taking the brunt of all of it so that you don't have to. He does. Just to connect with you. Like, why would an infinite being even bother with such finite beings? The logic behind it goes, that just, what? Like, to a person who doesn't see the cross as significant, or like those who just think it's dumb, like it's going to seem dumb. But those who are being saved, realizing, oh shoot, like there was no way I could do it on my own. There's no way that I could connect with this infinite being. There's no way that I could ever have a chance to even be close to this infinite being if it weren't for the sacrifice of him on the cross, and then the promise of resurrection. The very idea that he flips the script and says, no, it's through death that I actually created life. And it's like, that doesn't make sense. Like, when we see people die, we don't automatically see them come back to life, but actually the really cool, intense part of it is that biblically, Jesus shows that what happens when you die in him, you actually come to life, but it's a whole other level. It's actually what we're supposed to have. That's the cool part of it. And so this is why in Scripture, it's saying in verse 19, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and discard the intelligence of the intelligent. I'm going to flip the script. Those who think they've got it figured out actually don't have it fully figured out. This is where it's like working through that process in faith. There is a part of you that you got to trust. You got to be willing to trust that Jesus is who he says he is, that he actually rose from the dead, and it's important. It's putting on that knowledge, that helmet, that guidance from him on that. So then verses 20 to 23 here, we're going to read through. So where does this leave the philosophers, the scholars, the world's brilliant debaters? God has made the wisdom of this world look foolish. Ooh. And this would have been a big deal for Greeks, right? Because you ever read Plato, Aristotle, like these kind of dudes, Socrates, people who would sit and ponder and process life, understanding of logic, wisdom, what is the right thing to do, what is even being, what is self and understanding. These are the things that Paul is legitimately contending against on this point, not to say that they're dumb, but to say that their focus is actually not on the right thing, that their direction and point has always been self. If you ever look at Stoicism, which, if you're looking at it, makes sense. There's a lot of self-processing. There's a lot of, I need to work on any kind of self-improvement has to start with the self. For the most part, I tend to agree on that, because it is a case where you can't fix the problem if you're part of that problem. So you got to work on fixing your end of the problem before any bigger solution can happen. I'd say that to anybody. The other part of it, though, is that you can't always do it on your own. You can't always have the strength all on your own, because guess what? You're an imperfect person. You're going to mess up. You're going to lose momentum. You're going to have a hard time with some of that. This is where I do believe that it is God who gives us strength. I do believe it is God, when we choose to follow him in him and lean on him, that he gives us strength. It talks about that later on in Corinthians, where we are weak, he is the one who is strong. He's the one who's literally flipping the script. He's the one who's giving you that strength. This is where the helm of fate, when we put him on, he's enabling us, he's strengthening us, he's giving us the capacity to move forward, but it's not on our strength. And we submit in that way. It's not us controlling God, it's us giving God control, but we know that it's safe. Versus the helm has more often than not just taken control. Like, yes, you can put on the helm, but it becomes the point where your brain gets shattered because he's forced you into this submission. Not so much with God. Why did I show up to hearing crickets? I don't know. Wally, do you have crickets in your house? Do you? It could be just the beautiful background noise. I like it. It's very soothing. I'm very calm. You missed out on the ASMR stuff earlier, Wally. Come on. Catch up. No, they were coming from the stream. It's because of the background. You also missed Poetry Slam. All right. Verse 21. Since God in his wisdom saw to it that the world would never know him through human wisdom, he has used our foolish preaching to save those who believe. That sounds really weird, right? Wally, why are you telling me that it's snowing? Why do I need to know that it's snowing, Wally? Why'd you do that? It's actually snowing. Sandra, it's snowing. It's snowing. Guys, this is unfair. Oh my word. Now you have to have a breather outside. What? Oh, you could go make a snow angel. That would make great inside. Dude, I don't have the length of cable to do that. Go outside for a second, Mike. Can I finish my thought here? I'm just in the midst of a thought, and you decide to send me all the snowing stuff. As soon as I finish, well, too bad. Okay. Since God in his wisdom saw to it that the world would never know him through human wisdom, he caused foolish preaching. That's the intense part of it, right? I will go outside for a sec. I will. But once I clarify this. So again, what Paul and Peter and all the disciples and all these people that were starting up the church in this way were really kind of drawing out there for the people. This would have seemed utter, like, what is this? But he's preaching truth. He's preaching how Jesus has shown up in different ways. Just like how it can seem utterly foolish that a helmet could actually have a being in it and empower somebody to do something or fully take over. It seems foolish. But for Doc Fate or anyone who puts on the helm, really knows what it's like, and anyone who confronts it really knows. All right, I gotta go outside for like 5 seconds. I'm gonna put on the Be Right Back. Proof that I went outside. That is fresh snow. Fresh snow. Now, what should I do with said snow? There's a Sandra that's right there. You saw? I'm not putting it down my shirt. What is this, Wally?
Let's do it.
I'm not doing... Okay, Wally, here's my deal. Here's my... Oh, no. You take that punishment wheel back, because if I do it, I'm going to need a recording of you singing. I need a recording of you singing that we get to share on stream. Fine, under the hat. Under the hat. In the hat, you see? Right there. Oh, I'm going to get a brain freeze. Oh, this is going to hurt. Y'all are mean. Oh, that's cold. I don't agree with that. Once your voice gets better, okay, I'm holding you to it. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's so cold. Ah, it's freezing my head. Still not 100%, but yeah, I'll sing on for the stream. Good. Oh, it's so cold. This is why I don't like snow. Okay, we're going back to the talk now. I'm going to talk through this. Oh, that's so cold. That's why I said down your shirt. No, I'm still sticking with it. Okay, it is foolish to the Jews who ask for signs from heaven, and it is foolish to the Greeks who seek human wisdom. Right, so for the Jews, in this process of like Jesus's death and resurrection, right, they were looking for God to come in as a warrior, as a permanent kind of stasis. So that's why when they're talking about the gospel of Jesus and how he came and he died, and he rose from the dead, this was the thing that it just seemed absolutely foolish to them, because it's not what they were anticipating. But then for the Greeks, for them, it was about human wisdom, that they didn't really need to necessarily have God, because God gave them wisdom in themselves to figure out that they were their own solution. They were their own peace. Okay. So this is where Jesus is flipping that script, right? Like things that typically people would think, oh, well, this is the answer, or this is the right way. That's what it is. Okay, but also, all right. Real quick, Wally, I'll have to pick up my kids in a bit. Whew, this is chilly. The sound can only be played. Sure, that sounds good. Tune in next week for Nuggets' stream to hear Wally sing. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So here we are. So when we preach that Christ was crucified, the Jews are offended, right? Because their God wouldn't die, right? It's not one that dies. And the Gentiles say it's all nonsense. I just, like, what's the point of resurrection? What's the point of that when you have this life and you live according to that and pushing through it and stuff like that? So, so here we go. But verse 24 and 25. But to those called by God to salvation, both Jews and Gentiles, Christ is the power of God. So Christ is the one that's the fulfillment of God's power, his strength, and what he can do in his miraculous powers and capacities. But then also, God is wisdom. Like, Christ is wisdom. When you're reading about wisdom in Proverbs, it's all pointing to Jesus, because he was there at the foundation of the earth. He is the one who calls out for you to lean to him for wisdom, to hold on to him. So then finally, this foolish plan of God is wiser than the wisest of human plans, and God's weakness is stronger than the greatest of human strength. It's flipping to the very idea that, like, even at the lowest point of what God can do, it's better than what humanity could ever dream of or imagine. And that's kind of like the thing about Doc Fate, is the capacity that he's got going on. The capacity of what he's got going on is, like, Doc Fate, even at his lowest level, is actually way more powerful than anyone. Because really, he's tied to an ultimate being. So the challenge I want you to hold on to with Doc Fate, all right? This is the thing that I'm having you sit on and chew on with this, okay? The thing about Doc Fate is a reminder that it's not on your strength, it's on his. It's in his wisdom that you are putting his wisdom, his guidance on your life. But it's a submission. It is a willingness to go to God and say, I want you to take the lead. So in this case, this is where the Doc Fate symbol really does work, but also it doesn't. It's a semi-broken analogy. The Doc Fate helmet, the host puts it on and then gets the power from Naboo. Just like as we are putting on God's word in our hearts, or putting God's words in our heart, and we are sitting with him and listening to him, we are then directed in our actions. We are following. It's almost like the takeover happens. We allow the conduit flow to happen. If we were to talk about electricity, the switch is on, and his love, his guidance, his power, his wisdom flows through, right? Like, this is the submission part that we got to do. But where the Doc Fate analogy doesn't work is that the helmet just then harsh overtakes it. God will let you decide whether you want to maintain the relationship with him or not. He won't drive you to insanity to just do whatever, because he'll allow you to decide your own will. And this is where my favorite verse, guys, we're going to sit in. This is one that's been popping up to really chew on for a bit here. My favorite verse to sit on and to work on here. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on your own understanding. I'll explain later, Wally. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own, and do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. When we are seeing that it is us trusting, we have to choose to submit. We have to choose to give God control, because our own understanding, our own logic can be flawed. Our own way of approaching the situation is not fully seeing how it is. Again, infinite being, finite versus finite being. Infinite being wins. But it's the idea of, do we trust that infinite being having perspective that's going to actually carry us through, that he does have our best interest, our best benefit in hand, and he wants to carry us through in growth and development. This is why seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path. It's a collaborative effort where that you are trusting in him, but then you need to look for him. You need to look at how would he approach it, how would he go about it, and then you need to step out and go for it. You need to step out and follow it, and he will then direct you. Yes, this is the way. No, that's not the way. Like that. he's the one who will give you that direction. He'll give you that guidance. That's like when you put on Helm, you work with Naboo in that case. And the ones who haven't lost their mind typically do work with them, but there's like this correlation thing that works on. So, in the Helm of Naboo, in working on Doc Fate and being able to sit with that, it's a reminder that we need to put on our helmet, but we can trust the one who is guiding us in it. He's not just going to hard overtake, but that's actually something we should want to see happen. More of him, less of me, right? So, my challenge, my level up challenge for you, 10 billion% blessed assurance. Oh, yeah. That's a oldie goodie. Oh my goodness. Solomon, you make me want to write again. You make me want to write again. I just don't have time to write again. I'm not kidding. Yeah, donate more so that Wilson can have more time to write. I'm not going to argue. We are looking for support. Anywho, my level up challenge for you, Doc Fate style. Are you willing to put on the helmet of God? To trust in him. In Ephesians 6, it talks about it's the helmet of salvation. The choosing to remind myself that I am saved and delivered by God. I am guided by him and strengthened by him. He is the one that holds me, guides me, and directs me. Are you willing to trust in that? Are you willing to put on that helmet daily? But then in that action of wearing it, am I willing to hear his voice and be guided for it? Am I able to listen to his wisdom that he shows me what I should be looking through? Because a helmet has so much perspective to what it's going on. It's protecting, but it's also giving you focused vision. Are you willing to ask for that clarity through him? Maybe you need to memorize Proverbs 3:5-6 and say that every single day. I know it's something I need to work on. So, that's your level up challenge. Working on it. By the way, Wally, my head is cold! It's got snow on it! Of course it's cold! I feel the snow shifting! It is uncomfortable. How dare you? So cold. Ugh! My hat's wet. Thank goodness I have another hat. Wilson is never without a hat. Ladies and gentlemen. Snow bikini? No, that's not happening. No one, A, wants to see me in a bikini, let alone a snow bikini. Do you know the amount of frozen hair that would be happening there? Ugh. Ugh. Anywho. Time for prayer requests. And we got to make this quick because I sadly have to get moseying. Going to be picking up the kiddos for Free Treat Thursday. Free Treat Thursday. I am going to say this. Please be praying for the Wilson home. Coach has not been feeling well. She is a bit more on the mend, but like today is kind of like her chill-ish day because, you know, she was sick yesterday and Mark was home, so she couldn't really fully get the rest. So today she's getting the hardcore rest, and then we'll see how it's going. So yeah, appreciate that. We're going to pray for Tom for job-wise, for him looking for stuff like that. We're going to continue to pray for our man Solomon and his family, what they've been going through, and for Solomon to get another appointment for chemo stuff figured out. Pray for Pilo, that she be feeling better. I know she's not going to be on tomorrow, and you get some more Wilson streamage, except that's going to be video game streamage. So you get to laugh at Wilson's other way, because it's insanity. Oh, that's cold in the back. Stuff is dripping down my back. It's so uncomfortable. I do not like this. Why did I do that? Are we getting more followers? Are we getting more people? Like, what is this? Breaking news. Snow is cold, right? Shocker. Shocker. Okay. Yeah. Pray for Wally to get better, because I know he's been struggling with some cold stuff. And you also pray for his workload to be getting a little bit better, because I know we've been sharing that on Thursday nights. By the way, if you want a Bible study, join in tonight for our Wisdom Check Bible study, 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on Discord, 100%. And then, yeah, just keep on praying for us to raise funds. Thank you. For me, in my personal ministry, my ministry support, I'm needing $200 more a month. So please be praying that I'd be able to have $200 raised by the end of December. By the end of December, monthly. So yeah, we're looking for partnerships. So pray for that. If we had 8 people donating $25 a month, we'd be making that goal. So, peeps. Hi. Okay, enough about me. I'm gonna pray, because prayer. Awesome sauce. Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for this time where we've had some craziness on the stream, a good portion of it. And we thank you for examples like Doc Fate and a reminder of how, God, you are an infinite being, and some of the things that you do, it seems illogical to us, but ultimately it makes sense to you. Your wisdom is greater than ours. And that can be a hard thing to submit to. But God, like the Helm of Fate, we do need to choose to pick you up and to put you in guidance for our life, guidance for our vision, guidance for our thought and direction. But through that, we are then not alone in the battles that we face, and we don't have strength that's our own, it's in you. So God, I pray that we would be stepping forward in that, be willing to take that leap and trust our fate in you. God, I pray for Tom in finding work. Pray that you would help him, carry him, and sustain him, that there would be a job for him, or that he'd be able to create an opportunity to be able to have work that he develops too. God, I pray for my wife, Coach, that you would bring healing to her body, that she would be able to recover well throughout tonight, get the rest that she needs so that tomorrow she can kick butt like she always does, and feel a lot better. God, I pray that you would be with Solomon and his family through the loss that they've been going through, and still working through some arrangements and working through grief and the hard times that they have. Thank you that we've been able to hear more from Solomon on some of that, but that we can be able to be here with him. But also, I just pray for Solomon and his chemo treatment, stuff like that would get figured out, that he would be able to get the treatment that he needs, and that it would actually be working in fighting the cancer that's inside of him. That you would be doing work in that, and you'd be guiding that. God, I pray for Wally, that you'd bring healing to his body as he's been not feeling well for the past bit. And also pray for his mental load as well, as there's been a lot of work that he's been having to kind of rush and work hard through. And just help him through that. And God, I just pray for our ministry needs. I pray that you would sustain us as we are needing, as I'm needing 200 in personal partnership support per month. Pray that you'd be bringing the right people that would come alongside us, that would support this ministry, who've got a heart for nerds and a heart for you, and to reach out to nerds and to bless them with your word and to grow in connection with you. God, I pray that you would just sustain us, hold us together, that you would bring those people, and we'd be able to give you praise, give you glory for that. Yeah. God, I just pray that you would be with us as we head on out, that we would honor you in all that we do. We ask this in your name. Amen. Tom, why are you saying boo to prayer? Why are you saying boo to prayer? I don't have anything to snack. I'm not gonna eat something very okay. You know what? I do. Hold on. I got hot tamales. Got a little bit. Yes, there's snow. That's just, oh my goodness. I'm gonna say boo to scare you. I didn't know you were praying. Oh, well, maybe listen first, you punk. Alright. 2 tamales. Alright, guys. I gotta get heading. I got snow in my head, and it's dripping on my back. Like, legit. Now, my hat's wet. Great stream. Safe driving. Appreciate that. We'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for impromptu Wilson gaming stream. Yeah. So I don't know what we're going to be playing. I got to figure out what I'm going to play. I was doing yard work when it started. Oh, well, there you go. No, we're not doing Just Dance, because then I have to hook up other things to figure that out. It's whatever we've got on here so far. Do we have Overwatch? We don't even have Overwatch. I was going to say we could watch me do Overwatch. Overwatch your League. I like Overwatch. Not Sims. No. I would probably ruin the world. I don't want to do that. Anyway, guys. Catch you tomorrow.